This is the class of chemistry, senior 1, and my name is Clement Juma. So we will take you through the introduction to chemistry, because senior ones will have to know the introduction, and most of the time introduction begins with the definition. So here comes the lesson of today. We'll be covering the following: 1, the definition of chemistry; 2, we'll be looking at the importance of learning chemistry; 3, we'll be looking at the career opportunities in chemistry; 4, we'll look at the definition of laboratory; 5, we will look at the symbols and the apparatus used in the laboratory. So to start, we come with the concern: what is chemistry as a subject? For some of you in South Sudan, some of you who are watching this from South Sudan, we have from our primary schools, there's a subject called science, and when you come to secondary school, this chemistry as a subject is one of the branches of science. Like, we have science in secondary school is divided into mainly 3, that is chemistry, biology, and physics. Now, chemistry as a subject is like a part of science that is extracted to be an independent subject at secondary school. And for this reason, you are asked, what is science? You can say, what is chemistry? Now, chemistry refers to the study of the composition, the structure, and properties of substances under different conditions. Now, let me explain the definition before we go to the notes down. You have ever come across the word matter, and matter, by definition, is anything that occupies a space and has weight. And then from this definition, we say a substance here can be referred to anything that is matter, but not all things, because it's more like one of the examples of matter, or some of the examples of things that fall under matter, the substance we mean here. Now, when we talk about the composition, the structure, and the properties, what we are saying here is, when you get everything that you see, when you look at the shape, especially when you see a shape of maybe a shape of a book, you're going to find out this book has a structure. It is structured in a different way. Composition means what are the things that are used to make up or to make that particular book. When you also take an example like structure, how it looks, the structure of different things, the structure of a pen, the structure of a book, the structure of anything that you can name. So all things have structure. So we will talk about things later, like water. What is water composed of? What is the structure of water? What is the property of water? What are the things that come up as the behavior of water? When you take honey, for example, you take petrol, for example, they have properties, they have compositions, they have structure. When you take a stone has a composition, things that are made out of. It has a structure or shape. It also has properties. Properties meaning how it behaves under different conditions. Now, all things on earth, have ways of behaviors. They behave certain ways, or they have certain characteristics that are identified by. Now, let's have a look at this example down. The example down says, For example, you may be interested to know what happens when a piece of wood burns or during souring of milk, what happened. Now, if I would like ask you, when a piece of wood is burnt and it turns into ash, something happened to the wood. This wood underwent some processes before it turned into ash. So the processes that happened, these are like chemical processes taken from the word chemistry. These are like chemistry processes that happen there. Or you may also want to know, we have in Africa, especially like in South Sudan, where you go milk the cow, then you know that when you milk the cow, like today you have fresh milk, you can decide to drink the milk. But we have with some people, they will leave the milk or keep it in a container for 2-3 days to change the taste. And actually, it does not naturally change its taste. The milk does not naturally changes its taste. Something happens. It undergoes stages or processes for it to become sour. Or you may also want to know what happens when a nail or a knife that maybe is left outside changes color, becomes yellowish in color, or rust. In other words, rust. What happens? There are processes. All this we say studied under chemistry as a subject. Take a look here. We have some importance of learning chemistry. Why is chemistry important? Chemistry is important because the knowledge of chemistry is used in the manufacturing of soaps and detergents. You know, you as an individual probably put in use every day, or you use soap every day. Imagine without chemistry probability, you can't use soap, you can't have detergents. And you know how useful soap or detergent is to a human being. Secondly, we say pharmaceutical products and medicine, or medicines and pharmaceutical products, are also manufactured using chemistry knowledge. Medicines and pharmaceutical products, not necessarily medicines also, things that can be used along the line of health, like for ladies, they use always. That one is not necessarily a medicine, but it protects something. All these things are manufactured using chemistry knowledge. The medicine, meaning no chemistry studied, no medicines, no pharmaceutical products. Thirdly, we have in the food industry, we use chemistry knowledge. For example, when it comes to baking bread or cake or biscuits, processing those things. When it comes to processing drinks, beverages like soft drinks, we use chemistry knowledge. Fourthly, we have chemistry knowledge is used when treating drinking water. Like in South Sudan, we most of the time use chlorine for drinking, for purifying, for treating, and we use some tablets as purifiers to purify our water. We can't just get water from the river and drink immediately. It's like what we have here. We get water from the river Nile and we make use of it. We purify, we treat it first. This one helps prevent infections. And then the next point can be, we also use chemistry knowledge when processing crude oil, and we also use it when manufacturing agricultural products. Crude oil comes as raw material. For it to be finished products, it underwent processes. It will have to undergo processes in order for us to obtain what we want. Like out of crude oil, we get gas, we get glue, we get petrol, we get kerosene, we get diesel, we get engine oil, we get tarmac, we get so many things, candle wax, All these things we get from crude oil. Therefore, as a student of chemistry, you need to know how important studying chemistry is. Without the knowledge, South Sudan as a oil producing company or country won't make use of their oil, or else people come from somewhere who have the knowledge to make use of or to extract or process our crude oil instead of us doing it. So therefore, there is need for us to take part in the field. The next point is agricultural products like fertilizers, like pesticides, are all manufactured using chemistry knowledge. The next point is other products such as clothes, plastics, metal alloys, and plastic products are all done by applying the knowledge of chemistry. Lastly, we use chemistry knowledge to make a living. Let's get to career opportunities in chemistry. The word career means more like a course actually that you probably will study when you get to the university. For example, someone who studies biology, there are possible careers that are connected to the effective study of biology. For example, you become a medical doctor. Why? Because you are exposed to so many things that have to do with life, human life, animal lives, and so on. Now, when it comes to chemistry, proper study of chemistry by an individual will probably lead this individual to pursue a career that is along the line of chemistry, along the line of the knowledge of chemistry. Like you go to the university, ask, what do you want to offer? You probably will say something that is connected to the knowledge of chemistry that you're good at. So therefore, someone who studies chemistry, or a chemist for that matter, will probably pursue a career along the line of chemical engineering or quality officer control, or become a chemistry teacher. You can study all these at the university. You can become a pharmacist, you can become a metallurgist, you can become a laboratory worker, you can become a nutritionist. All this and many more are some of the career opportunities or possible courses that one can do at the university when one sticks to the study of chemistry. You can pause the video and do these questions. Like question 1, what is chemistry? That one is already given. This one is to just check your progress and how well you have grasped the concept. Now we come.
Son, your mother asked me to come up here and kill you.
Hey, I know.
You know what?
What you gonna say? And it's under control. So,
no problem. Right. How do you expect to get into college with grades like this?
No problem.
Huh?
See, I'm not going to college.
Damn right.
I am gonna get through high school and then get a job like regular people.
Regular people?
Yeah, you know, who work in the gas station, drive a bus, something like that.
So what you're saying is your mother and I shouldn't care if you get D's because you don't need good grades to be regular people.
Right.
Okay. Oh, suppose you graduate from high school. Let's say you just slide by. All right, now you got to find a job. Now, what kind of salary do you expect for a regular person?
$250 a week.
$250 a week?
Yeah.
Sit down. I'm going to give you $300 a week. Yes, indeed. $300 a week, $1,200 a month. All right?
Great, I'll take it.
Yes, you will. And I will take $350 for taxes.
Whoa.
Huh? Yeah. Now, because, see, the government comes for the regular people first. Now, how much does that leave you with?
$850.
All right. Now, you've got to have an apartment because you are not going to live here. So, an apartment in Manhattan will run you at least $400 a month.
I'll live in New Jersey.
All right. You live in New Jersey, you've got to have a car.
I'll ride a motorbike.
You need a helmet. Figure $100 a month for clothes and shoes.
Figure 200. I want to look good.
Okay, so what does that leave you with?
$200. So, no problem.
There is a problem. You haven't eaten yet.
I can get by on bologna and cereal. So, I got everything I need, plus $200 left for the month.
You plan to have a girlfriend?
For sure.
Regular people.
Welcome to the class of laboratory. Laboratory. This is actually the start of chemistry. You will not know chemistry until you know laboratory and what comes with laboratory. This is what it says. Laboratory is a building or is a room or an institution that is equipped for scientific research or where experiments are done. Let me explain it. This is what it means. Laboratory is a building that is designed, or a room that is designed, or an institution. It can be it can be more than one room or different rooms, but divided into sections carrying out different activities. It's a room or a building or an institution equipped for scientific research, to carry out research that is related to science, or where experimentation are done, where findings are carried out. Just for example, you go to a hospital, there is a room where you are going to reach to, where your blood will be drawn, or maybe a sample will be taken from your body, maybe blood or saliva or stool for that matter, or maybe a swab from your skin or anywhere. These samples are taken to the lab so that they will carry out experiment on it, meaning they will want to find out what is wrong with you through the blood, the urine, and this is a room that is called a laboratory. Every hospital you go to has a laboratory, and in fact every sick person, before you are given medicines, it will be through the lab that you are going to know what is wrong with you. Then in fact, for someone to know that you have malaria, this malaria is discovered in the lab. All these sicknesses we know about, tests that are carried on people, it is carried out in the laboratory. Now, some institutions do more than testings, or like carrying out tests on people. It can be to experiment or to research on something new that has never existed using the knowledge of chemistry. And sometimes the use of chemicals to make something. Just for example, those who make drinks, they add preservatives. Preservatives are chemicals. There are things that are added to our drinks, to the food we eat, to preserve them, and all these are chemicals. And these things, the quantity of these chemicals are measured in the laboratory. The quantity is identified, the danger associated with the use of the chemical, they minimize the danger at the lab level. So in the laboratory, you will find equipment, meaning you will find things that they use, or sometimes they call them materials, or they call them apparatus. And you will also find chemicals which are used when performing this experiment. These chemicals or these equipments or these materials are referred to as laboratory apparatus. Now, laboratory apparatus refers to the set of equipments used by chemists. Someone who studies chemistry is called a chemist. By chemists to perform experiment. Now, set of equipment used by chemists in the laboratory to perform experiments or to carry out research, to do experimentation and all this. We say there may be this apparatus. These apparatus are made out of so many things, or made of so many things. Some are made of metal, some are made of wood, some are made of plastics, some are made of glass. So therefore, it is important to use the right apparatus when performing a given experiment. One should also be aware of the accuracy of apparatus before using them. That is to say, once you are going to use this apparatus, you need to use them with a lot of care, with a lot of attention, with a lot of focus. You don't just use it anyhow, especially those ones that are made of glass. You handle them with care. Anything can happen, they will break. So you use the right apparatus for the right experiment. That is what it is. These are some of the examples. You can have a look at them. These are things we find in the laboratory. We have dropper, we have gas jar, we have beaker, we have trough, we have flask, round bottomed, flat bottom, conical bottom. We have the wide tube, we have the pear-shaped flask, we have the cannula, we have burette measuring cylinder. We have all these are examples. You can pause the video and see them, and all of them are used for different purposes, like syringe, volumetric, flask, spatula, all this funnel, used for different things. Some are used by doctors, some are used by engineers, some are used engineers in different fields like physics have some apparatus here that are used in the physics lab. Some are used by chemists as well. So you can pause the video. You see like what we have here, the flask, the fluorescent flask, we have the hot plate, we have the cork, and this is how they look. And you find on the last column like their function. What are they used for? You will find their function there as you read. Now, these are more examples for you to see and to know their functions. You can pause the video and you see what role this apparatus perform. Now here we have some laboratory symbols that we use in the lab. These symbols, sometimes you find them not only in the lab, but sometimes on cars, on buildings, sometimes at the gate and all this, and they symbolize things. Sometimes you find on signposts and all this. For example, like the first one, when you see it looks like a sign, or it looks like flame. Now what it means there is that one is highly flammable. Highly flammable means it can catch fire easily. You find this mostly on these trucks that bring fuel, or like petrol or something. Then this one that looks like the skull can lead to death. Likewise to this letter X, more like letter X with I, small I, is something irritant. It can irritate the skin when comes into contact with such material. Then the one that looks like fan is radioactive, meaning it is something dangerous to human health and can cause cancer. Likewise to the rest, you read through something explosive, something corrosive, all this can cause danger. So we've come to the end of today's lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it. In case you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask on our channel, and remember to also subscribe to our channel to make sure that this video reaches to so many people. We love you. I'm Clement Juma. God bless you for being part of the class. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.